second in our series, Grassland Management and Optimum to Production of Beef. Very simple tools. You don't need a 200 horsepower John Deere. All we have here is a plate meter and a spade. The spade really, first of all, is to really check in the soil and your livestock compaction and how far the roots do go down. This is a field of herbal ley that we have sowed, and already we can see plantain roots and all going down 5 inches, whereas the grass roots are just really the top 2 inches off the surface. James and myself have been growing it for a couple of years now, and it's proving great dividends. High life weight gain and high production value with a low nitrogen usage, although it does need a bit of P and K. Okay, here we are. I'm going to try and demonstrate what height we should be going in at and out of. This is 1500, so it's measuring 1500 in the plate meter. So if you can see my bit, it's just about toe height, and that's ideal. That paddock is completely cleaned out. We've just taken cows off this a couple of hours ago, and they're moved on to the next paddock. But that will allow a quick refresh grazing over the next 21 days, and I'll be back here before then. We grew last year, we grew 14 tonne and utilised 92% of that, so that's actually eating over 13 tonne of grass. And if we work it out to kilos per hectare, it's costing us about 16 pence a kilo to produce on a kilo of live weight at grass, whereas it's costing us, at the best cattle in the house is costing us £1.08p to put on a kilo. So, a sustainable way of producing grass is the way forward. We prefer to get the value from grass. As I said, we're measuring grass every week, so we know exactly how far we are ahead. If we're too far ahead, we take paddocks out. But also the other thing we're doing is we're taking grass samples, and our average grass sample has produced an ME of 12.1 over this last 10 months. So you couldn't buy a concentrate meal with a 12.1 ME and a protein approaching 18-19%. You just couldn't afford to buy it. So grazed grass is the best. We sow a lot of tetraploid grasses with clovers in all our mixes, but the tetraploid grasses really encourage the heifers in particular to graze right to the floor. Plate meters reading, and we just go across this here, and if there's second place is 24. Just go along 32 drops, and it beeps, and you take your reading from that, and then we add all the figures onto the grass software package. We use AgriNet, which gives us a wedge, shows us how many days of grazing we have ahead of us, and how many. Actually, the most important thing is how much we've grown in this last 7 days, which is very important. All this data is again uploaded to AgriSearch as well, and again we produce a weekly bulletin in the paper showing people what their predicted growth should be in different parts of Northern Ireland. And we put on our fertiliser usage, our spray usage. Really, it's a one-stop thing for all things grass, and it works well. Our rotation here is grass, a brassica, which is probably red starter stubble turnips, followed by 4 years of red clover. We're growing this as a protein source. We are finishing cattle on red clover straw and a concentrate. We've virtually eliminated grass silage from our finishing diet. What we've learned in the past that we need an additive for this to preserve the protein levels in our clover silage, and to that effect our contractor has put on an applicator, and we're put on an inoculant now to preserve the protein of the clover as best we can. It's a wee bit green there, and the rain's about to come I think this evening, so we're going to bale it up as quick as we can. We don't want to let it dry too much, because if it dries too much the leaves would become brittle and fall off, and that's why we want the leaf. We don't really want the stem, we want the leaf. But all in all, it's a super product. We have sowed no fertiliser on this field for 2 years now, and the only fertiliser I possibly would tend to sow would be potash once a year. It's producing 350 kilos of nitrogen per hectare anyhow, so we don't need to add any more nitrogen to it. We don't really tend to graze it, but it's very good for opening up the ground structure, and when we come to reseeding it in 4 years time, the ground will be lovely. And I'll show you a field that's just out of red clover and into a herbal ley in the next segment. Involved in an EIP program, European Invest program, to look at herbal gourds and beef and lamb production. How big that piece of work's going to be, we don't know. We're adopting different establishment methods, direct drilling, ploughing and sowing and things like that there, to see if we can establish this, the best way to establish this crop and roll out to other farmers in Northern Ireland. So it's an ongoing process, but at present, shall I say, I'm very happy with it.